Disaster Management Centre says that it has taken steps to evacuate people from areas that have been identified as being at a very high risk of landslides. Meanwhile, heavy downpours continued across many parts of the island today due to the low pressure system that has developed around Sri Lanka. Landslides and falling earth embankments have claimed 10 lives in the Badulla district alone. Landslide warnings are in effect for 11 districts, while Badulla has been the worst affected. Meanwhile, a warning has been issued by the National Building and Research Organisation. The NBRO has asked the people living in areas that have been identified as being highly vulnerable to landslides in the districts of Matale and Kandy to evacuate with immediate effect.
5 homes were buried in a landslide that occurred in Madagama, Rilpola in Badulla. Police say that several residents are missing. As of this evening, 4 bodies had been recovered from the rubble. 2 mobile phones have been heard ringing from within the rubble. Rescue teams used backhoes to speed up the effort. However, the heavy mist and continuing rain has disrupted the rescue effort.
The extreme weather has also affected several other parts of the island.
2 people were killed when an earth embankment collapsed on a house near the S-bend in Hangola, Badulla. The deceased were identified as 53-year-old R.M. Dharmapala and 63-year-old V. Christopher. A mother and a son were killed when an earth embankment collapsed on a house in Galkanda, Badulla last night. Our reporter says that transportation has been hampered on the Badulla Mahiyangania, Bandarawala and Valimada roads as a result of cut failures and rock slides. Two people sustained minor injuries when an earth embankment collapsed on a house in Gamindipura, Hatton early this morning. A large tree fell across the Kandy-Colombo railway line near the Yatinura depot, causing train services to terminate at Ramukkana. The Peradeniya-Galaha road was blocked after a large tree near Ramanathan Hall at the Peradeniya University fell across the road. A man stranded by floodwaters at a home in Giragama, Pilimatalava, employed ropes to escape. Several homes in Diabubula near Rikillagaskada town have sunk by several feet. The Mahiyangania Kandy Rajamawata was also blocked at several locations by fallen earth embankments. An earth embankment also collapsed on the Bingia in Halolua, Kandy, completely burying the structure. Our reporter says efforts are underway to remove the soil. Our camera captured this footage in Alla Bandarawala.
Meanwhile, severe flooding has brought day-to-day life to a standstill in other parts of the island. Over 650,000 people have been affected island-wide.
Floods hampered transportation on the Anuradhapura-Bandanayakagama road. 233 people from 67 affected families are being sheltered at the Anuradhapura Public Sports Ground. About 350 people who were displaced when the Malwatu Oya broke its banks have sought refuge at the Tissa Mahavidyalaya in Shravastipura. Floodwaters are yet to recede in the sacred grounds and in Mihindupura. The Polonnaruwa Batiklo road was inundated at the Bothal Deka junction. Sector Commander East Major General Lal Pereira says that soldiers have been deployed to assist the affected populace.
2,000 to 3,000 troops of the army have been deployed to the Polonnaruwa district. We have even used the training schools for this. We have deployed the troops to the Ampara, Batiklo and Trincomalee districts as well. We are ready to protect these villages.
Transportation on the Kurunagala-Matale road was brought to a standstill when the Kadupila Bridge in Dodamgaslanda was washed away. Our correspondent says the Kapatigala-Kurunagala main road is also blocked while the road has been damaged near Ahimansala in Daduru Oya. A poultry farm in the area was also submerged. Water release from the Daduru Oya continues to inundate several villages in Chilau. Transportation along the Tissamatra road in Hambantota too has been affected. Our correspondent says the Mahiyangania town has been inundated while the access road from Bibila to Mahiyangania has been blocked.
The spill gates of several reservoirs, including the Rajarata reservoirs, have been opened, while our reporters say that water is flowing over the bunds of some reservoirs in spite of the spill gates being opened.
The Nalanda reservoir in Matale is overflowing for the first time in 27 years. Although the spill gates of the reservoir have been opened, water continues to flow over the dam. Incidentally, this was the first reservoir in Sri Lanka to have a concrete wall.
Newsfirst අප මේ රැඳී සිටින්නේ නාවුල ප්‍රදේශයේ පිහිටි නාලන්දා ජලාශයේ.
The Newsfirst team is currently on the dike of the Nalanda reservoir in Naula. What you can see over here is water flowing over the spill gates of the Nalanda reservoir. What is most significant is that it is after a period of 27 years that the Nalanda reservoir has experienced such a situation. The spill gates have not even been opened. Water is flowing 4 feet above the spill gates of the reservoir. The water that is flowing from here directly meets the Bovathanna reservoir.
ජලාශය දක්වයි. Newsfirst වෙනුවෙන් මම මංජුල ප්‍රේමරත්න නාලන්දා ජලාශයේ සිට.
Water released from the Nalanda reservoir makes its way to the Bovathanna reservoir.
වර්ෂාපතන සමග මේ වෙනකොට බෝවතන ජලාශයේ සියලුම වාන්දුවට විවෘත කර ඇති ආකාරයක් ඔබට දැක ගන්න පුළුවන්.
With the heavy rainfall, we can witness the manner in which the spill gates of the Bovathanna reservoir have been opened. With the opening of the spill gates, all the water flows directly to the lower area of the Amban river. That area is currently experiencing severe flooding.
මම Newsfirst වෙනුවෙන් ප්‍රදීප් ගුණවර්ධන බෝවතන ජලාශයේ වේල්ල මත සිට.
The spill gates of the Bovathanna reservoir have been opened by up to 6 feet.
Heavy rains experienced yesterday attributed to the rapid rise in water levels. 6 spill gates opened by 6 feet each. The water levels are just a meter away from the maximum level. Because of the rapid rise in water levels as a result of the heavy rains, we are maintaining the levels at below 1 meter.
The water released from the Bovathanna reservoir into the Amban river has inundated many surrounding villages and roads. The spill gates of the Parakrama Samudra, Minneria and Giritale reservoirs in Polonnaruwa have also been opened. The railway line is now the only ground transportation link between the Batiklo and Polonnaruwa districts. 8 spill gates of the Daduru Oya reservoir have now been opened as the water level continues to rise. 4 spill gates of the Lunugambehera reservoir have been opened, increasing the water levels of the Yodavava, which is located downriver. Several surrounding villages were inundated when the Yodavava began to overflow.